I just reached 5K a month after a year of making no money in my online business. Today, this morning, I signed enough clients where I reached that 5K a month mark. And this has completely changed my world. So to give you a little bit of backstory, I've been on self-improvement for a few years. I've also been on a business journey for a few years. I've been self-employed since about 2022 or 2023. And I've had a business, but my business makes it to where I'm stuck in my small town, right? So I was basically stuck here. Yes, I was making decent money, but I was stuck here. So one of my ultimate dreams was to travel the world, was to live in a different country and be able to reach a higher vibrational state, be able to enjoy like the nicer things in life. So about a year ago, I set off on my journey to create online income, right? I listened to this creator named Hamza. I'm sure you guys all know who this guy is. He's a self-improvement guy. But he made a video about creating money or making money online. And I watched it. And I remember that day I decided to start. I started building a course. I started, making videos. I started putting out content. And, I started getting a little bit of traction, in my online social media. Not here. So the business is not related to this channel at all. This is just like my personal advice to other people that want to improve their life. But this other business, I was getting a lot of followers. I was getting a lot of views, likes. And over time, I started getting inquiries, people that wanted to learn how to do this business. So essentially, I started working on it. I started trying to make money and, I ran ads. I did all sorts of shit. But the problem was, for a year straight, I made no fucking money from this online business. I made absolutely no money. I was still stuck, and I was starting to get to a point where I almost wanted to give up, I wanted to give up. I wanted to throw in the towel, and I almost did a few times. After 6 months of trying something and seeing absolutely no income, spending all those hours, spending all those nights, time that I could have spent with friends, family, working out, time that I could have spent making extra money with my current business, all that stuff, basically, I was losing money. I was not making money. Right? The point of a business is to make money. So for years straight, it was just learning. I read books. I listened to audiobooks. I watched 1,000 fucking YouTube channels on making money online. I watched so many videos on this shit, and it seemed like everyone out there was fucking making money, and there's all these fucking gurus and all this nonsense, and people are getting this success, that success, whatever, right? And here I am making nothing. Well, a few months ago, basically exactly 3 months ago, I hired a business coach. I watched one of these videos on making money online, and I hired a business coach. And essentially hiring this business coach, this guy basically like deconstructed my entire business. He showed me everything that I was doing wrong. He showed me everything that I was doing right. And he set me up a business plan, and he showed me basically the way, right? He showed me the way to do things, how to get these clients, what to say, gave me scripts, all that shit. He basically gave me a schedule. I followed the steps and I stuck to it. So within about a month and a half of working with him, I signed my first high ticket client. He didn't even pay that much money. The guy was kind of poor, so he paid like $300 to get started. And that was that. He paid $300. I went ahead and onboarded him on the program. And then it was kind of stagnant after that. Until eventually, I signed about a month later, I signed another client, right? These people paid the full price. They paid, $3,000. They paid in full, and for 3 months of coaching. Well, a few weeks later, another person signed, And then boom, another person the other day signed up. And then another person. And then this morning, another person fucking signed up. So now it's like increasing. And so yeah, today was my first day where I was like, yo, like I've made like probably $6,000 in like the last like month and a half, 2 months for my online income. And now I have $5,000 a month, basically recurring revenue coming in. And let me tell you guys how significant that is. So when I tell you guys how much relief lifted off me, when I tell you guys how much pressure, how much weight lifted off of my shoulders, when you've been trying something for so fucking long, like this has been like my life's dream, is this online business. Ever since I was a kid, since I was probably 12, 13 years old, I remember I saw my grandfather trading stocks on the computer. And I saw the charts, and he talked about how he was making money using his computer. And I remember that moment in my mind very clearly. You know, I remember that moment very clearly in my head. I remember thinking, holy shit, I need to get in on this money, making money online stuff, right? And having that dream ever since I was a kid, I tried several different things over the past, 10 plus years, past decade, right? To make money online. I tried trading crypto. I tried trading stocks. I tried become viral on YouTube and make money from the AdSense or whatever, the monetization. And I made a little bit of money in each of those endeavors, but not consistently. And, I just kind of gave up on it. With crypto and stocks, I actually ended up losing money. Yeah, I made some money, but I also made bad trades where I lost money. And I ran out of money. So I kind of had to give up on that. But now it's kind of like, okay, you're making 5K a month consistently. Guys, when I say that today, a huge pressure lifted off my shoulders. And I'm talking a huge pressure. It told me something. It told me, you've proven that you can do it. You've proven, you just got your golden ticket out of this country, right? And basically it was basically my golden ticket to like my new future. Like I said, my dream is to get out of the United States and live in somewhere in Asia or South America or something like that. I'll go to Thailand or China or Vietnam. And today I just saw it. I just saw it in front of me. Like, here's your golden ticket. Here's your income that you can make. You can leave the US. You're making enough money to where you can leave. Right? And that just opened up my eyes. Now it's like, technically tomorrow I could book a flight and I could leave. Like, I can leave if I want. I could book a flight tomorrow and I can completely leave the country, right? And I don't think you guys know like how freeing that is, knowing I have the choice to leave now if I want. Now I have the choice to live my life as I see fit. And it's not a matter of if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to leave this area. It's only a matter of when I'm going to leave this area, right? Which I've already started my preparations. I've already started thinking of different scenarios. I've started thinking of different countries that I could go to and experience, those countries. And it's a magical thing, guys. It's something that I think is just really cool. And if you want to start making money online, I would say don't pass it up. Like, it's real. Like, I was one of those people. I was a dreamer. And I saw a lot of failure before I saw success. And don't give up on this shit. Like, if you're in your business journey, if you're in your entrepreneurial journey, like, don't give up, guys. Like, don't give up. Like, this shit's not fake. And it's like weird. So like before you start, like, it's before I started making the money online, it almost seemed like this shit wasn't real, right? Like that, you hear about these people doing it and you see it, but because you yourself never have done it, that it's almost like this like fantasy realm in your mind. Like it's just like it's not real. But let me tell you guys, like when you actually do it and you see that money in your bank account and you realize that you're helping people, you're changing their life, and you realize that it is real, it just changes your reality completely. Like I feel rejuvenated. I feel younger. I was going through a rut, guys. Like I was going through a time that was pretty hard the last few months. You know, I had a lot of mental, problems going through my head. I had a lot of dark thoughts and I was struggling with a few things. But I can definitely feel myself, like I already feel like stronger, happier, healthier. Like I told you, it's like it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when I get out of here and I go to a different place where I can make more money, I can meet new people, I can start a new life, start a new chapter of my life. And guys, this wasn't like an overnight thing. I want to stress that again. Like it was a lot of trial and error. I did a lot of things that didn't work. You have to just put yourself in there. I would say it's kind of like growing a tree. Like plant the seed now. Like that tree, it's not going to grow overnight. And if it does, you're pretty lucky, but it took some time for this to fully come to fruition. It took, like I said, I had to learn. I had to study this shit. It was like going to college. I had to invest money. I had to invest in a mentor. I had to study. I had to read. I read books on this stuff, how it works. And it's just one of those things that like, yeah, guys, like it'll change your life for the better. It will set you on a new path, and don't be afraid to get started, right? Start uploading videos. Uploading videos is free. Like it's like this channel, like, yeah, it doesn't cost me anything but 20-30 minutes of my day to make these videos. And the reason I make these videos is I just want to spread the word. I have to put my experiences out there. I have to share what I've learned with the world, what works, what doesn't work. I just want to share my wisdom, guys, right? Because like I said, I watch channels just like this, people that are doing this, and now it's part of my reality. So when it comes to making money online, yeah, like I just hit a huge milestone. Like I said, I need to make a game plan. I need to figure out like where I'm gonna go, my escape plan essentially. But this is good because now I have like something to work towards. Now I have something that essentially I can stay very motivated. I'm in a very good mindset now because now I know that I do have the key. I can leave. I can leave if I want. I can just get out of here if I wish. So that's all I have tonight for you guys. Stay strong. Keep pushing forward in your business. Don't give up. It is real. It's not bullshit. I just crossed the boundary. So yeah, fellas, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to my channel. Later.